Good morning. We have made it out of the hotel to Fontaine-de-Vaucluse, I believe that's how you say the town. It is a riverside town that has an amazing amount of restaurants around this river. And when I say around the river, I literally mean like the famous restaurant here is the Terrace on the River, I believe is what it was called. And it literally is just a building that's above the river, above the water, on stilts. And it's gorgeous. Now, this is totally a tourist town. The prices match that. So things are a little bit more expensive. But it is quite picturesque. It's kind of nice to see like the lock that they have going. The bridge serves almost as like a dam as well. And they have a lot of water wheels going. I could only assume that they're using it to create energy of some sort, like electricity, or perhaps they're using it as they did in the past to still crush things. But that aside, we got a little lost prior to getting to here, and we ended up dropping Mom off at a national park, perhaps. I don't know what it was exactly, but it was gorgeous. And we did a little bit of a nature walk through there along this same river. It was just a real cool clear path, and there was guys like fishing all along the coast. And one of the cool things is they did have signs posted that you're allowed to fish, but they also had clear signs saying what you were allowed to fish and how large the fish had to be. So they had a large one at the entrance, and then on every now and then on a tree they would have like a miniature version of it, which that was really cool. Whew, that was a little bit of a trek up here. Yeah, so we're checking out the town right now. We saw a bunch of older folks hiking up this hill to come see where they were at. Yep, and you have this great view of like a canyon wall, I guess you could call it. Yeah, so it's a very curvy river. So there's a horseshoe shape to this portion of it. And yeah, it's really pretty. But we've come this far, so I'm just gonna go walk down just a little further before turning around. We only have about 10 more minutes of free parking. So I don't know how on the dot they are here, but we'll also try to be a little honest and not take too much of their time. But yeah, we'll check back in a moment here. Welcome back. We are standing in the hotel room currently, and a lot has happened since we left the Fontaine-de-Vaucluse, I think it was. We actually left that area, with that cute little town with the bridge and all the restaurants around it, and went over to the Lavender Museum. Now, the Lavender Museum was just a quick stop because Mom wanted to go shopping rather than going into the museum. So we walked around a little bit, looked at the lavender fields. Nothing's in bloom until late May, so there was really nothing to see there, unfortunately. We did walk into the store, and Mom was hoping for something a little different, and Lynn was hoping for food. They had honey. That was actually the only food they had in there. Like, Lynn wanted cookies and stuff like that, but they didn't really have anything, unfortunately. And Mom wanted small soaps, but they didn't really have that either. So it ended up, we walked over, and after spending about maybe 15 minutes, we ended up leaving. We then went to a restaurant that was called something San Carlos. I'll write it on the screen here. But it started with an A, like Andalusia San Carlos or something like that. It actually really confused me because there's a San Carlos right next to San Francisco, and I thought my phone was mistaken and trying to do something weird. We ended up getting some just traditional French food there. It was rated like 4.3 stars or something like that. It was really highly rated, so we were surprised when we got there. The menu was extremely cheap. It was 16 euros for a appetizer, main plate, and dessert, and it came with a carafe of wine. So that was quite a bit, in my opinion, to come with just your menu. We got 2 menus and a side dish, which they're like famous for barbecue. So I ended up getting 1 barbecue dish on the side just to see. We weren't actually all that hungry, unfortunately. We actually had to pack a lot of it sitting right in the corner of this room when I'm about to do the room tour here in a second. But the food was decent. Mom and Lynn both really didn't like the pork there because it smelled of pork. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody, but to me that totally describes what the pork was. It just stank of pork. And Lynn's chicken, braised chicken, was really good. So the appetizers we got was I got a anise salad, and Lynn got this, I can't even remember. It started with a C, but it was a rice with a like in a creamy milk sauce, and it was then had a cooked prawn put on top, and the dish was served cold. And that was a bit different. Lynn says that it tasted like the store-bought California roll rice. And I see where she was going with it. I thought it had a creamier flavor myself, but it wasn't all that great. The salad was fine. It was your regular salad with anchovies and tuna on top, and then topped with an egg. And I was okay with that. The anchovies really made it to where the salad didn't really need any other sauce in order to be tasty. And then finally, we go to the main dishes, where I got shish kebab pork, or skewered pork, and it came with a sweet potato mash, we think it was, and some stewed vegetables. And then Lynn got the braised chicken with some noodles and the braised vegetables, and then we got from Mom a barbecue sausage that was filled with rib meat, and again the sweet potato mash and the stewed vegetables. All really decent. Don't know if that was worth 4 stars, but the value was definitely there. And to finish, and then we got a red wine to go with it. And then kind of to finish off the meal, we had for dessert, I ordered a flan, and Lynn ordered this almond cake, which looks more like a croissant that's like been triangled, I guess. Like if you cooked a croissant in a circle and then cut it like a pie, and then it has a thick layer of like an almond cream on the bottom of it. So that was pretty nice. We didn't eat most of that. We actually have that here with us. And then after that, we decided to come to Marseille, which is where we're at currently. And because everybody kept telling us it's a tough town, I decided that I'd look up what time we could check into our hotel. And you could check in at noon or afternoon, and it's about 1 o'clock, maybe 1:30, almost 2. And so we came here first to check in, and now we're going to head out to the city to go check out more of that. But before we go, why don't we go ahead and take a quick room tour of this Ibis budget Marseille. So let me change the camera angle, and then we'll get right back to it. All right, so starting out in the hall, we are on the 3rd floor. There's the elevator. Our room is right there. We are room 300 even, and that's funny. There's no actual card keys here. It's just a code. So, oops. I don't know if I did that right. There we go. Typed in the code. Open in. And the first thing we have is a bookshelf here and a full body mirror right next to it, leading over to the bathroom with the toilet on one side and a shower stall on another. The shower head over here is broken, so we're not going to be able to use it as a shower. We'll just have to hold it, whatever. It's all good. Then coming out, we have a double bed, which Lynn and Mom could sleep on. And then there's the bunk bed, like at the other Ibis budget. Lynn might want to sleep up there instead. And then we have another single bed for me. And over in the corner, we have the desk type setup and the TV. There's actually another coat hanger over here. Pretty cool. And then there's no view out of this one. It's like to some houses and the main road that we came in on. Ooh, that is dark. Let's see if I could get that going. There we go. So again, out the window there is no view really, but whatever, it's all good. Let's go ahead and get back to what I was talking about just now, and yeah, be back in a second. Alright, and as you can see, the Ibis budget looks pretty much the same as every other one. It's not surprising. I'm pretty sure once they have a winning formula, they just keep pumping them out and making them look the same. There's no point in doing anything all too different. Mom said that this one in particular had an option for an extra bed rather than me having to sleep on a bunk bed. So we did that instead. Lynn might opt to sleep on the bunk bed later tonight. Anyhow, yeah, let's go ahead and head on out to Marseille and get to our next spot. Check back in a moment. And welcome back. We have just finished up over at Port View here in Marseille. We went over to Port View and walked a very, very large circle to go through the forts that were there and check out the kind of old architecture, as well as crossing the two kind of pedestrian bridges that they had that just spanned between two super large areas, like or crossed over one major road and one kind of inlet that came in for the harbor. We did start off at the Museum. This M-U-C-E-M. It was like all over the place where they said hashtag M-U-C-E-M. I think it just means museum. And that building was quite amazing. I might not have gotten any footage of it, but I do have a photo of it, so if I can't get any footage, or I can't get any video of it, I'll throw up a photo. Simply put. And then from the museum, you could actually go up for free. There is a security checkpoint. Marseille is a little bit tougher of a city, which is why I don't have my backpack with me. Just not risking anything right now. All I need is this camera anyways, really, on my phone. And then everything's super tight here, as in really, really busy and really, really narrow streets. We then drove from the Port de Vue to the main station here. I forget what it is, the Gare something. Saint something, that is. And then we're walking over to the gardens, which we've finally arrived. There's the entrance to it. And so we're gonna go check out the gardens and the waterfalls and fountains. Anyhow, we'll check back in a moment. Hello, Editor Charlie here from the future. And I realized after doing these edits that I actually messed up and forgot to mention a couple of things while I was in Marseille. First off, after talking about how my backpack wasn't with me in the last scene, I did forget to mention that we were able to go to the Cathedral La Major, which is a huge and beautiful cathedral here in Marseille. And that was kind of the final part of the circuit, because when you go up the museum or the musée and go over to the fort across one of the pedestrian bridges, everything's free. And you're able to get these great views of like the seaside, so the Mediterranean Sea, as well as a fort, another fort that's across the way. And after crossing another pedestrian bridge, you come down off the hill, and that's where the cathedral is. Now, inside the cathedral, it's magnificent as you would think it would be. All the marble and well-ornate decorations, as well as a diorama of the birth of Christ, which was really cool to look at. It was a little bit darker on the inside there, so it was a little hard to get some of the footage, but we did manage to do so. As well as there was not too many folks in there praying, so it was actually a pretty quiet and peaceful. It was easy to get around without being noticed by too many folks, and it was easy to get kind of these shots that I did. Now, on the other hand, after we went there and we drove over from the viewport to Palais Longchamp area, that is where the famous gardens are, and that's kind of where that last scene ended. But the funny thing is, we actually were able to go and walking around the actual gardens. I didn't actually mention that in the next scene here or in any scene on the shot, and it's kind of funny how I forgot to say that. But we were able to walk around the main fountain that was there. It was gorgeous. There's a ton of people picnicking. We walked up kind of into the garden areas behind the fountain and walked around a little bit. Mom actually had to use the restroom, is something that I recall clearly, so we went and found a free toilet that was in the park, which was kind of nice. And after that little bit of, walking around the park, we decided to then go down to the Cabrières area, and we go to get dinner. And the next scene here is us finishing up dinner and walking back towards the car, just checking out the kind of downtown area, I guess you could call it, of Marseille. So let's go ahead and get back into it. All right, welcome back. We are now in the heart of Marseille, and let's just go to another one. That is a ton of trash right there. Let me get a little zoom action going. I don't know if it's spilled or someone knocked it over, but they're tossing garbage back into a garbage can to set onto the trash can or the garbage truck. It is packed here, straight packed. Craziness. But we are prime time, dinner time. We just finished dinner at the Bloom off of Cabrières Street, and we had 2 pizzas, a Cabrières and a Diovina, and then some fried artichokes. The fried artichokes were definitely not good. The 2 pizzas were decent. The Diviano was spicy, but the carbonara or Cabrières was decent. The cheese on it was really good, but other than that, it was kind of bland. And then we finished walking down Cabrières Street from the park. We walked all the way down and just continued walking down the street. Mom wasn't feeling up to just continuing down on that it's getting a little dark in here, huh? Lynn chose it a dark alleyway, as you do when you're traveling. Mom wasn't feeling it. The city is quite dirty. That's the trash thing, I'm sure that was just a one-off. Maybe it happens all the time. I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt and say it doesn't. But even as I walk down this alleyway right now, there's dirt and trash. Not the dude, but the bags next to him.
Yeah, bro.
and it's just super dirty. At least people here are super friendly though. That's kind of cool. Like, this is the most that I've been spoken to out of all the cities that we've been to. And another traffic jam due to a garbage truck. Yeah. It's funny, I actually got stuck behind a garbage truck at the Normandy Beach D-Day Museum. It's pretty funny because we could just continue walking straight. Lynn's saying how this GPS seems to always know where all these garbage trucks are. Maybe it's the traffic report. But anyhow, we finished dinner. The pizzas were great, and they actually have like a wood-burning stove or wood-burning oven on the inside to actually cook the pizzas. So it was really nice, yeah, like properly cooked. And more trash. It is garbage day. I mean, let's put that out there. So it's good. Everything I see is going to be skewed towards it being dirty. We finished dinner, and then, like I said, continued walking down Canberra Street, and it was cracking. There was one really cool building that had a lemonade store at the very bottom of it. Other than that, Le Mode, was that what it said? Oh, it said Le Monde. Apparently I read that wrong. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now we're going back to the car. We're headed back home. Not too much left for the night. It is quite early. It's what, like 9 o'clock now, I think. So yeah, Lynn just said 8:52. So this is literally the earliest we've been heading back. It'll be nice to just chill, take a shower, relax. Lynn bought a 6-pack of cola. Maybe I'll find a bottle of wine somewhere that we could drink. And we'll just chill. I already did the room tour, so the hotel is great. Looks good. I'm just thinking if there's anything else I need to do before I end this one today, because it just feels so early. But, we made it to one of the monuments that we thought we weren't going to see. I'll throw that up on the screen real quick. So we're over by a monument, over by the parking lot. And yeah, let's go ahead and kill it off tonight. Say goodnight, and I'll see you in the next video tomorrow. Peace.